Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. As you guys can see, we have a special guest here. We have Johnny Walker here with Holosail, and he's going to introduce us, and we're going to introduce Holosail. We're going to talk about some things. I know many of you guys have heard of Holosail. I know many of my followers and my subscribers. I know that you guys have overheard Holosail and what they intend to do, and I've also went over on a video and talked about Holosail, and now we have Mr. Johnny Walker here and kind of do a little Q&A for us. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to get started with the first question just so you can introduce yourself as well. But where does the name Holosail come from?
So hollow means full or whole in Greek, and sail is the sail on a sailboat or a ship. Being that our background comes from maritime, is full sails ahead. A reference to days of past, so to speak, in the industry. And then technologies, obviously, the future to come.
Absolutely. Okay. Wonderful. And now, for our viewers, who came up with the name Holosail? I know, was it a group effort or did you just like?
Right. So for the record, we are not associated. We are not part of Holohost or Holochain. We are a completely separate entity. We're a completely separate company. For that matter, our technology doesn't necessarily even need Holochain. We can use many other platforms and other open source technology to make our technology work. However, Holochain is our preferred and first choice, and our CTO is currently coming up with the best way to wrap our technology to utilize Holochain inside of our tech.
We'll dive a little bit deeper into that later because that is one of the questions that we have for you. We'll go ahead and get to the second question here. Now, do you plan to have a base in the United States or Holosail do you guys plan to have a base in the United States or multiple around the world?
So we are global as far as our team. We have team members in Australia, Norway, Connecticut, New York City, New Jersey, Midwest, all over Central America. So there's no need for us to have a home base. We're a completely remote company. And we're a new company. This is the 21st century. We're not looking at this as the old incumbent big tech companies that want to build, giant, towers with their giant name on it. That's not us at all. That's not our ethos. As long as we can maintain everybody remotely, we will. There will be, however, at one point in time, an area where we will house our AI itself. But outside of that, no, we're just completely remote. We're global, man.
Oh, wonderful. I really think that and my subscribers know I talk about this all the time. Being a company or being an organization, being able to adapt to the world. A lot of times I ask people, and that's how actually one of the guys, I'm pretty sure Air Nova on Twitter, I don't know what his name is, but he introduced me to Holosail, and that prompted me to actually research your company and research what you guys do, and I really like where you guys are going. I always tell people if you're going to invest in something, we'll get into that a little bit later. But if you're going to invest in something, invest in the future. Obviously, Holochain, if and when they come up and finish everything, you guys are willing to adapt Holochain and move forward from there because you guys want the best and you want to keep up. So that's a wonderful thing. And also having being remote is extremely advantageous, especially in today's world. We'll go into it a little bit later, especially prior with COVID. I know on your website and in the introduction talk about post COVID solutions. So that's awesome as well. Now the third question is that actually you kind of answered a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and ask for my subscribers in a way. But what will you do if Holochain fails?
Right. So right now our system is operational and we can actually afford the security that we need to. Because of proprietary information, I don't want to say, but there are other open source systems out there that can do exactly what we needed to do in order for our technology to provide what we need to provide for our customers.
Wonderful. So you guys already pretty much have everything set up and it's ready to roll and ready to rumble, but you would prefer to have it on DLT or distributed ledger technology, be able to use Holochain. Obviously, that'll give you a lot of advantages, especially over, I mean, for security reasons and many other things.
Oh, many things. Yes, I mean we definitely prefer Holochain. It was our first pick. It's really the idea. We was set out to solve a problem in the shipping industry, and we didn't by accident. We made a new technology that actually helps solve problems in many other industries as well. And it's Holochain. While we were coming up with how to solve this problem, was discovered in that process, and it fit perfect into what we would need. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. You know, I tell others, and we're going to segue into the next question, but I tell my subscribers, I was in the military, I was in the Air Force, and when I read about the manifest and customs and me being a loadmaster and actually having to travel with the freight on the aircraft and go to all of these different customs and by the way, I guess on the record, the guys they kind of dress kind of funny when you go to different places and the different customs. They all look different. It's very interesting. But one of the things that I will say is they are intent on they do with customs. They do all of this. I mean, they search the aircraft. They search everywhere for almost everything, every loose thing. They really try to find out, make sure that everything that is delivered is actually in the manifest. And when I saw that on your website, I was like, I don't think people understand how important it is to be able to have to be able to fly, sail, ship anything, and to have customs come in and to be able to use technology in which they know for a fact that everything is there. Even with how everything is set up right now, how organizations are set up right now, there's still a lot of loopholes. There's still a lot of cracks in the system, and I think that this will fill a lot of holes in the system.
I 100% agree. We plan to. I mean, once we are a little further along, we're gonna give a live demo publicly. Release a live demo. Our I was gonna wait till later, but I'll go ahead and get into the economics behind of what we do. So we've identified North, Central, South America, and also the continent of Africa have been underutilized. The indigenous people have been are unemployed. They have a hard time getting access to healthcare. This technology, and I want to make it very clear to anybody and everybody, I don't care who it is, we designed this technology not to automate humans out of the equation. We designed this technology to do the exact opposite of what all the other companies are doing. We have purposely, I apologize, we have a lot going on over here also. We purposely made this, this has been designed from the ground up to build new marketplaces. And what we've found is every natural resource on Earth is in those areas. However, the people that live in those areas are struggling, and we don't, we identify that, and we want to make a platform, and we have made a platform that can level the playing field. And let those people, that barrier of entry, what happened in not just the United States, but globally. But the United States is a good way to describe it. We have some division that we haven't seen in a long time here in this country. And a lot of it is because of hope. We have more in common than we have not in common. And our goal is to provide hope. So let's just let's just hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say I want to see my shirt say made in Honduras. I want to see my jacket said made in Argentina. I want to know that the gold that Fort Knox is getting is coming from coming from Africa. I want to know the iron ore is coming out of the of Ecuador or Chile. Or I want to see my neighbors. I want to see the neighbors in the United States. I want to bring. We want to see that. That's what I want to see. I don't know if you've ever been to Honduras.
No, I won't.
It is absolutely beautiful. I've had the pleasure of going. It's absolutely beautiful. Best beaches in the world, but beautiful mountains, multiple resources. And here we have, multitudes of Hondurans leaving paradise. Now, nobody ever says on any kind of news outlet or on social media why. Right? Like let's look at why and let's solve that problem. They're leaving because there's no hope. They were hit by two major storms and nobody lifted a finger to help them. They have all of these natural resources, and I'm just using them as an example. This could be used for a lot of other countries. If we level the playing field and we make it so they can start opening up jobs and getting involved, and they're not blackballed by the large companies and the large players, ultimately taking advantage of any kind of technology. This will not only make the market bigger for those big companies, it makes the market bigger for everybody. It helps them, helps the indigenous people, and it helps the mom and pop companies here in the United States who can't compete with the big boys. Well, if you have this technology, it helps level that playing field. So now you don't have to go to only limited areas to buy what you need, and it doesn't always say made in China. So we're really passionate about bringing jobs to people that need jobs and countries that are our neighbors, and even Africa that's not our neighbors, but to countries where the indigenous people have really been taken advantage of. That's something that we really hold true, and we stand by it, and that's our plan. If I get in trouble for saying it, so be it. Get in line. That's our goal. We want to see this. We want to see this open new markets, and we want to see this bring prosperity to multiple people.
And that's powerful. To be honest with you, that's one of the things that um, you know being able to bridge communication. Now, many of my subscribers know I'm a huge Holochain fan, but it's not just that. I think that Holochain, the technology itself, it's everyone that's going to use Holochain for a variety of different reasons, and the same reason as to why the organization Holosail would like to use Holochain. Obviously, if things don't come out, there's still a work in progress. But still, at the same time, you guys are looking to bridge that communication and bridge that gap between those who are less fortunate. Than many of us. I know for some of us, some of my subscribers, a lot of my subscribers are from Indonesia, and they come from a different world than I do, and they understand a lot of things more on a deeper level than I do, and that's just the truth.
Right.
Sugarcoat that. But with my and I'm pretty sure with your experience and my experience being cross seas and being able to see what's really out there in the world, and not just here in America, you really see the disparity of
Right.
income, of poverty here, really all over the world. So
Right, and there's no need for it. There's no need for that. The only excuse for that is greed, and there's no need whatsoever. When you have a country, these countries have resources, natural resources, and the people that live in those countries should be the ones benefiting, not people from outside. And it should help everybody. It should help their neighbors, our neighbors. There's no reason other than politics and greed to get in the way of it. We're at the cusp of new age. Now we can either let these advanced technologies make this problem worse, which is what is happening with the companies currently. The incumbent companies that are using automation are using it to get people away. Let's cut payroll. Let's cut we are taking a totally opposite approach. We don't want to cut payroll. We want to make more jobs. And in doing so, if they're using our platform that is on, say we end up, Holochain runs smooth and we're on Holochain,
Right.
they're going to end up using Holochain for their personal platforms, and then so on and so on and so on, which can be a landslide effect where we can. This is possible for the first time since 1492, when Columbus landed in the New World. The indigenous people can actually get what they deserve, what is rightfully theirs. And I say that, and I know I'm this white guy in a suit, and both my grandfathers were coal miners from Kentucky. So I don't know poverty as some, but I have experienced what here in the United States we would consider poverty. Don't come from a royal family. My sister was the first one in my mother's family to go to college. They worked their butts off, and they were lucky to have a roof over their head, and it was a tin roof at that. So I do in my heart have a place for that. I see people, I've experienced what it's like to not know where your next meal's coming, and that's shouldn't be the way. And we have technology to change that. And our goal is to utilize that technology and do the best we can to change that. Hey, Chris, your audio just went out on me a little bit. Nah, still. I can hear you. It's just in and out. I can hear you. It's just quiet. No problem.
For my subscribers and also for Holosail for everyone. This is the year 2021, and I think that everything derives from a single question: Do we have the right to live if we do not work? Now, obviously, that goes into a lot of deep things.
I missed the question again. I missed the question. You broke up.
Oh man, I don't know.
Get closer to the mic. Go, give us a nice close up.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Basically, my question is, because there's a lot of disparity in the world right now, and this isn't for anyone to answer, but just my question. In the year 2021, should you have a right to live if you do not work? And that's a deep and rooted question, because a lot of times some people can't work. There's other things people want to work. Now I'm not talking about the kind of work that we have here in the United States, the kind of disparity, because I'm not going to get too much into the politics on that. But we have the technology, as you were stating, we have the technology to help people, to take care of people from a lower level all the way up to the higher level, and to make an equal playing field. And I believe that if we're able to make an equal playing field for everyone, and not talking about laziness and different things like that, because that's going to exist in every situation, every economy. But in reality, that's a huge question that, like you were stating before, America's divided. But it's not just America, the world is divided. We're starting to see, as you were stating before, Hondurans are coming over here to America, and you got people in the Mexico border, and we have Cuba now. I'm pretty sure you heard recently about the things that are happening in Cuba. What happened in Haiti? The president was assassinated in Haiti.
Yeah.
These are serious things that we really do have to start taking care of our people, and that comes from a lack of leadership throughout the world. So I definitely respect the intentions of Holosail for sure.
Thank you. I think we would be remiss not to point out. You bring up the political thing, and I think that we are not a political company. We're apolitical,
Right.
but we do believe in what the forefathers of the United States wrote and that is everybody. And we don't think that just Americans. We believe every human being on the planet of the earth. And this is the answer to the beginning of your question. If you're a human, you have that divine right to pursue happiness. I don't care what divinity you believe in. I respect them all.
Right.
Whether even if you're atheist, right? It doesn't matter to me. But to me and to our company, if you are human, you have that right to pursue happiness. Now, whether or not you make bad choices, that is free will, right? That means, you made the bad choice, you pay the consequences. I tell that to my children. I've made plenty of myself. We all have, right? That's life. But you should have that right to pursue that happiness without anybody impeding upon that. It is your choice to make that bad choice. It is your choice to make that good choice. So that being said, we're not going to go and say that everybody's choices are correct. There's a lot of evil people with bad intentions. We would never want this technology to fall into the hands of anybody with bad intentions. The idea is to make sure that those that are seeking that pursuit of happiness aren't stopped. And unfortunately, when our forefathers wrote that, they wrote that about monarchs. They wrote it about kings. Well, today people aren't being stopped by kings. Today people are being stopped by large corporations. They're being stopped by greed. And there's no other way to say it. And I'm not going to. This is going to go out. I'm sure I'm going to hear plenty for me saying it, but it's the truth. And I'm not going to deny the truth. And we've come up with a way that we believe can help aid and assist in the pursuit of happiness for everybody. If you have the idea, if you have the gumption and you have the tenacity to start a company right now, you're not going to even have an opportunity. There's such a high barrier of entry to get into any kind of form of economic and if you look at it today, and we'll use shipping only because shipping is our number one focus. We have 16 other industries that we're going to work on later. But let's look at shipping, for example. We have the COVID-19 pandemic. We have the highest spot rates, and I hate to put it, I'm not going to name any companies because I don't want lawsuits, but we have the highest spot rates for shippers. We have the highest rates. So before COVID-19, it cost you a few $1,000s to ship a container from China to New York City. Maybe, $5 from China to all in, you're looking at like $7 something, But now you're talking, there's people that are reporting on the internet. There's articles. People are paying $24,000 for a container to get shipped from China to the United States. Now, so you're talking about anywhere from, our research shows anywhere from 84 to literally 400% increase. And a lot of companies are taking this as a profit. And I just want to say that one more time. A lot of companies are taking that on their books as a profit. Meanwhile, I have to pay more at the grocery store to feed my kids. My neighbors have to pay more at the grocery store. The guy I know down the street that has his own construction company, he's almost out of business because he can't sell the lumber to his customers at the price that he used to be able to because of those costs. But somebody's making record profits while others suffer. Our technology is specifically designed to prevent that.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really excited to see what's how you guys flourish as time moves on. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna go ahead and
Your audio, Chris. Your audio.
Oh no. Can you hear me now?
A little better, yeah. It's
So I'm gonna go ahead and segue into something a little bit lighter. Can you tell us that I have plenty of them, but can you tell us a funny military story?
I can tell you thousands. There's only a few that are safe for work. I'll go back to I was a mechanic originally in the Marine Corps. I was training mechanics, and at the end of the training, I don't want to say online what where they train, just because
Of
it's
course, of course.
um, but so at the end of I was a Humvee and 5-ton mechanic back in the 90s. And at the end of, in order to graduate it, you had to take apart a Humvee all the way to its bare bones and put it back together. And it was just you and one other guy. And at the end of the 2 days, they would have the inspector come, you had the instructor and make sure that you would pass. And I stood in, so you had one person that would start the Humvee and somebody that stood in front. The Humvees have a transition cooling line, just like a radiator.
Okay.
Well, we didn't clamp it all the way shut. So when he hit the start button, I'm standing in front. The hose came on loose, and I got sprayed with transmission fluid, which is called Dextron 3, which is pink if you've ever seen it. And it stinks very, very slippery. And so we had 15 minutes to fix it. So I'm slipping and sliding. I look like I'm out of Ghostbusters too. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, and and the instructor's like, come on, you have 2 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And we're blah, 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 rushing to get it fixed. And, luckily for us, I think we had like 40 seconds left on the clock. And he hit the start button and the thing started up. But I smelled like transmission fluid for about 2 weeks, and I was pink for like 2 days. Yeah.
Oh my
So I don't know
God.
if that's
All right. Sorry about that, you guys. I cut out for a split second there. But we're back, and we were just hearing the ending of a story as Mr. Walker was telling us about his previous stint in the military. Look, I can't imagine being sprayed. Did you guys have QA? Was it called QA? The guys that made sure that everything was in there right and everything was done correctly?
Well, we had the instructors, but our job, that was I was a 3521, so I would be the guy that would make sure that everything was correct,
Oh,
which was the test, right? So the test was to tear the Humvee completely apart and put it back together. So they knew you knew every single part of that
absolutely.
vehicle. That was the reason the test. Yeah, that was my MOS, was to we did all the PMs. If it were to get damaged under fire, we were trained to fix it, get it back into safety, make sure everybody in the Humvee or the unit was in a safe Humvee to get out of harm's way until it could be repaired. That was my MOS. Yeah. So
And for some of you guys who don't know, MOS is military terms, so basically that's what their job, their specialty is.
right, military occupational specialty is what it's saying.
Right.
So I apologize. I apologize. Veteran to veteran, you just start to
Yeah,
forget.
no, exactly. I was like, oh man, you know, on the TDY the other day, and I know what
Someone get two Marines together because they can have a full conversation with like 3 words that nobody else knows.
Oh man,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy.
Hoorah, rah, rah, rah.
We'll talk. We can talk later. I'll tell you about my run-in with some Marines later on, but that is very interesting. Sorry for my viewers, and I have to be a little bit off screen there, but
All right.
it's very interesting. All right, back to business here. So, you kind of already told us. You kind of went into it already about what you think about the current economy. So I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna re-ask that question because that was a question. But I will ask you this. I know you guys have, you have connections and you're willing to move forward. Are there any companies that's just thinking about using you guys or anything like that?
Um, Unfortunately, because of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, legally, I cannot answer that question.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Gotcha. I understand. I don't want you to get in trouble. I appreciate that.
I'm probably already going to get in enough trouble as it is after,
No,
speaking a little bit of the truth.
you're fine. You're perfectly fine. And another question, uh, and this is a great question. I wish I had thought of it myself. If you actually, if you had a message for everyone in the world, what would it be? I mean, considering your position and your ability, it seems like you have a heart for everyone in the world, especially going over the four founders, our founders quotes. But what would your message be to others in the world?
My message would be never quit and realize that you can't do it by yourself. And also realize you're not alone. There are good people out there that will help you. Never give up, never quit, keep going. I've had to reinvent myself. I can't even tell you how many times. I think all of us have. We can all relate to that. That's a human experience.
Right.
Don't give up. Never quit. Never stop. Keep moving forward. Look for people. If you need help, it's okay to need help. And you know what? I'm going to take this as a chance to plug something.
Yeah,
Um,
go
there's a new film. There's a new film being put out by award-winning filmmaker. It's a documentary called "Healing the Heroes of 9/11," and it's all about some first responders. I'm actually in the film. A lot of people don't know this about me because I don't tell too many people. But I was there. That I went in that night to help in the recovery efforts to the best of my ability. So I'm in the film. But that being said, what the film is about is the trauma that that people had gone through during 9/11. And I highly encourage is due to release all over Prime, everything on September 11th. I highly encourage people to support that film. It's really helping a good cause. It's helping good people. But that being said, not just first responders and veterans deal with PST or PTSD or stress or anxiety. Life is hard. Civilians, my wife was at 9/11. She's not a Marine. She didn't have the training I had, right? And she had to go through that. So I guess if I could tell one singular message to the world is be together. We're together. We share a common human empathy for each other deep down inside. We're not different, and this may come from the military. When I was in the Marine Corps, and I'm sure when you were in the Air Force, we had people from all different backgrounds, all different races, all different religions, all different cultures, and we loved each other as brothers and sisters. And in the Marine Corps, it was a little different because it was mostly just brothers, especially back then. Now there's a lot more women in the Marine Corps. But when I was in, it didn't matter if you're a Muslim, if you were Jewish, if you're a Christian, if you're a Hindi. It didn't matter. All it mattered was that you were my Marine. You were a Marine. You're a brother. We didn't see color. We didn't see creed. We saw green. Marine Corps green. And if we could do that with the world, right? If the world could realize that the person to the left and the right of you has a symbiosis with your well-being and their well-being, and we can focus on that and just stop with the rhetoric and stop with the unnecessary rhetoric and the unnecessary hatred that is just spreading rampant across all over the world. If I could tell the world anything, it would be why? Why? Don't give up. We're out there. There's more good people out there than there are bad. And it's just a matter of reaching out and finding the right people. And our company, we're there. We're going to be there. We'll see. You'll see. We'll show up. We will show up.
That's awesome.
Uh, and I guess that's a little longer than I would have anticipated. And it's a longer message. It's not like a 2-word thing, but
No, I mean,
that's what I would think I would tell the world if I had a chance.
and,
Yes.
and I'm glad you actually did that and mentioned that because of the fact that, in today's world, everyone's always hearing sound bites and quotes, and they don't really understand, get a deeper meaning behind the words. You can always encourage somebody, hey, don't give up. Why?
Right.
Do this. Why? So we have to
Hang in there.
exactly. So we have to get to a point to where not only do people, because people really want to know or obtain more information, but we leaders have to be willing to share information and give and dig deeper and explain exactly why. So I'm glad you explained exactly, hey, why I don't want you to give up is basically what you're going there, and I appreciate that. Um,
Right. And thank you.
so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Uh, so it seems like you'll need a lot of manpower to be global, or at least especially concentrating in certain areas. How do you plan to expand?
So actually, we're really lean. The technology on our side does most of the work for us. There is a component that we'll need to manufacture, and we plan to manufacture that in multiple locations. Um, but the idea is, we grow new markets, those new markets will create new jobs themselves. So the manpower really will create itself as new markets are opened up and more people have more opportunities. But as far as our company is concerned, the technology itself kind of runs, does most of the work for us. We do need to have, specialists here and there to make sure that everything on our side is running right and our customers are satisfied, which we plan to do. However, we're actually very lean just by design of the technology itself. It's more designed to help other markets grow and making more manpower and making more jobs. I hope that didn't seem slighted or shaded. That's the best way I can
Oh,
answer
no,
it.
no, 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 no. That's perfect, and I definitely appreciate you taking time to explain. I definitely, I understand that there's especially here in America and really all over the world, but especially here in America, there's so much red tape, as you were saying, so many things you can say, so many things you can't say, and starting out. So I definitely understand and appreciate you just spending the time to just kind of come and answer some questions for us. Now, I know a lot of my subscribers are huge Holochain fans. They love to support Holochain, and they also love to support any company or organization. Not necessarily that they have to be on Holochain, but you have a similar vision. How the last question is, how can someone support Holosail?
That's a great question. Get the word out there. Help us spread the word of positivity. Help us, like you just said. The leaders of our world are not explaining it, right? Well, they're not going to. We have to take it upon ourselves as citizens of the world to finally say, I'm no longer going to hate my neighbor. I am going to work with my neighbor. We're going to make this world a better place. The more people that are like that and think like that, and the more people that believe in that and believe that people deserve, a prosperous life, the better the environment for our company will be when we come to those countries and those regions and try to expand the economy. That would be the best way. Also, support our website, support our videos. We're very involved in a lot of PTSD things, mental health, mental awareness, anxiety. We try to be as charitable as possible at this early stage. Support those causes, support those things. Help your friends, help your neighbors. Be a good. Try to be just. You're not going to be a good person every day. None of us will. Strive to be a better person every day. If you want to help us, strive to be a better person. That's all we got. And if everybody does that, then you're helping us, and we'll help you. I mean, this is we didn't create this to be the next Zuckerberg. I don't even want to be. It's don't. I mean, I'm a simple man, just like you, just like anybody else. I want what's best for my family. I want what's best for my neighbors. I want what's best for my community, and I think everybody does. Well, not everybody, but most. And the idea is, hey, why shouldn't every community? Why can't we support all communities?
Exactly.
So I'll just I could go on forever.
Yeah,
So I'm going to go ahead and stop there
yeah, yeah.
uh, and leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I definitely, first off, I want to thank you again for taking the time to come onto my channel and have answer a couple of questions. I know some of the questions were a little bit deep. For some of my subscribers out there, I want you guys to understand it is advantageous to be apolitical for any company or any organization. And I really like that because with a lot of companies and organizations, when you're apolitical, when you're not leaning any kind of direction, you're kind of looking at the world from a bigger picture and not from a narrow viewpoint. So I appreciate that. And for anyone out there, any subscribers out there, please take a look at Holosail, take a look at their website, listen to the videos. I took a look at your website now. I see you updating. I see you updating a little bit and have everyone your team listed and everything. So you guys are looking good. So I definitely look forward to seeing you guys grow.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're definitely a veteran-centric company. We have three Marines, one in the Navy. And we also had a member of our team that passed away that was U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force. So we're definitely veteran-centric. And thank you for the website. The guy, our team member that made the website, he's not a veteran. He's going to be very flattered that you like the website. So thank you for
Oh
complimenting the
yeah,
work.
absolutely. My viewers know when I view different websites, I take a look at first off, is there a video in the beginning? I think that's the most important thing. And you see so many organizations, they have like these websites, and there's no video, there's no explanation of what it is. They just want your money, and it's like, why should I?
Right,
What is this?
right, right.
Kudos.
I would end it on this. I would say that we're not business is always about money, but we're not a business that is looking, like I said before, people are calling this stuff profits while other people suffer. That will never, as long as I'm CEO of this company, never be the case. It will never be the case. Absolutely not. If we don't all succeed, it was not a success. That is our company ethos. That is what we tell everybody in our organization. We all agree. We're doing this together. We're all going to cross that finish line together, and that's the goal. That's the goal.
All right, man, that's powerful. All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and stop it right there. Hopefully, maybe 3, 4, 5. I don't know, however many months down the road, we can check back in and see how you guys are walking forward. But I definitely appreciate you, Mr. Walker, for taking the time. Again, I can't thank you enough. So we're gonna go
Oh,
ahead.
it's my pleasure, and thank you for your service,
Oh,
Chris.
I
All right.
appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here, you guys. Please have a wonderful day, and most importantly, stay safe out there.